Here we have a 2021 Ford F-150 regular cab. And this one comes in the XL trim level. And that paint color is that carbonized gray. And then we have a stone cloth interior. And the powertrain on this one consists of a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. So as we come around to the front end here, we have our halogen headlamps along with halogen fog lights. And then down here, 17-inch alloy wheels. Over here we have our controls for our power windows, power mirrors, as well as our power door locks. Headlamp controls. And there's our driver's seat. And there's a view of our back end there. And as you can see, we do have rear park assist on this one. And there's the bed there. There's our passenger seat. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what's under the hood. And there's that 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine. We're just gonna take a hop in the driver's seat here. So here we have the steering wheel. Nothing fancy about it, but I do like the steering feel, which we'll test that on the drive. But over here we have our controls for our radio. And this is an 8-inch center stack touchscreen. So we have AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. And then we also have our USB hookup as well. So you get an automatic brake hold, which you can toggle on and off here. We have our lane keeping system, pre-collision assist. There's our backup camera with our guidelines. It moves based on how hard you turn the steering wheel, and it's pretty accurate, so I like that. And then up here, we can toggle our auto stop on and off, toggle the camera, hazards, traction control. And then down here, we have the controls for our climate, 12 volt, and then 2 USB inputs, along with the 2 over here, and another 12 volt. So over here for our drive modes, we can lock the rear axle, and then we have, I want to say 6 drive modes. So trail, slippery, normal, tow haul, eco, and then sport. And then here's our center seat, which to pull up, press that there, pull on the seat, and then you have 2 cup holders and an armrest. And there's our glove compartment with our owner's manuals. And then for our other storage area, we hit this button here, and then that folds up, and we can just close it back into place. So to our steering wheel on the left side, we have our cruise controls, and then we have our lane keeping toggle, which we can turn that on and off there. Volume controls, and then we have Bluetooth control here, and then one over here, and then we have our radio station or track list controls here, and then we can go through our gauge cluster here. Different views and different information. And then we get the menu button to go back and select certain screens. But for our shifter, we just pull down on the brake, or when we're braking, we pull down on the shifter, reverse, neutral, drive, and then manual mode. You hit the button here, and then you can toggle that here. Then you just put it back into park. And then we have our key fob here, which you do have to end up turning the key in the ignition. But now we're gonna go ahead and take this 2021 F-150 XL V8 regular cab out on the road for a test drive. So pretty good power from the V8, and the 10-speed, which I've driven in other Ford vehicles, is just so smooth, and it knows exactly where to shift without having any sort of lag or anything like that. So really impressive. And that's the lane keeping system there, which I kind of want to turn up a little bit. But overall, to start out with, I really like the overall drivability of this truck. It's pretty easy to maneuver. Everything just makes sense. And I've started out in eco mode, and it still has plenty of pull. So I'm gonna put it into normal mode. And in this regular cab, I really like the ride height. I feel like I'm up really high, and I'm still able to see right in front of me, because as you can see, the hood slopes down, and I just feel like I'm able to stay in the lines easier, and I just have better overall visibility than I would expect. And overall, the ride quality in general is really good. The sound coming from the truck itself is minimal. and I can just barely hear the wind noise. And if you don't have any kids, or your kids can sit in the front and you only need room for 3, this is really the way to go, because you could put a camper on the back of this truck and you'd be straight, and you get the best fuel mileage with the regular cabs. If you don't use 4-wheel drive, that'll help you save on gas as well. And this is just, it feels so much smaller in a good way. I just feel like I could drive this every day, as opposed to maybe feeling a little overwhelmed in a full-size truck. But the normal drive mode is very smooth, and it definitely has its stuff together. But as we get on the interstate, I'm gonna put in the sport mode and then manually shift and see how that is. We're gonna give it some throttle here. Oh, wow. I mean, this thing is, wow. I have to get used to hitting the button to get out of manual mode, because I put it back into neutral, but oh my goodness, just really fantastic power coming from that V8. It's really surprised in a good way. So that's the lane keeping system there, and it's not adaptive cruise, so just a really smooth ride on these smaller wheels. Not getting any sort of vibrations or any negative feedback at all. And this will kind of show you our fuel economy here as we're coming down the interstate. Really good for a V8 engine, cruising at almost 80 miles an hour. And really, really steady brakes here. Now I will say, slowing down, hitting the brakes, the 10 speed is ever so slightly shifting, but I mean, it's in sport mode, so it's kind of confused. But honestly, you shouldn't keep it in sport mode anyway, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it back into normal. And there's the auto stop that just came on. And I'm a big fan of automatic brake holds because I can kind of let my foot rest for a minute. With the auto stop and the automatic brake hold, you can let your foot off the brake while you're in auto stop and it'll hold the brake for you, but you have to hit the gas pedal to go. So just keep that in mind. And this will bring me to an end of my review of the 2021 Ford F-150 XL regular cab with a 5-liter V8.